So, Jordan, now that I beat The Last of Us 2, I really have a lot of strong opinions, and I feel like people say the word gamer a lot, but really what it truly means... Oh, fuck, Jordan's really just going to make me start saying what my thoughts on The Last of Us. Fuck
Look
you.
Look at the time, David. It's
the Chainsaw Minute.
God, you're peaking so badly because you were so excited about that. I'm David, and this is your dose of Chainsaw Man. You can join us every Friday where we see what masterpiece Fujimoto put out.
I'm Jordan, and if you're looking for regular Shonen Flop goodness, you can find our next episode, our first thoughts on Takamagahara, this Monday.
Spoiler alert, we actually kind of liked it, and I'm in such disbelief.
Yeah, first chapter. We've only read the first chapter.
And just a reminder, these recordings are open to everyone. Listen and chat along with us on the Shonen Flop Discord every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern when there's a new chapter out. Final link in our show notes or on our site. Just a heads up to everyone listening, we are actually going to be moving the Chainsaw Minute to its own feed based on some feedback. We know not everyone is a Chainsaw Man fan or doesn't want spoilers every week, so you can find our new RSS feed at csm.libsyn.com to get your Chainsaw Minute goodness. We will also keep posting on Patreon, on YouTube. We talked to our patrons. They said just keep it going. So I'm really excited that's going to be kind of its own thing, and we're just kind of doing it for fun. It'll be a good time, so we appreciate everyone supporting, and it's just fun to talk about Chainsaw Man every week.
Oh yeah.
The opposite of Chainsaw Man, though, is the devil, which is not true because Chainsaw Man is about devils. But
yeah, I was gonna say,
what was your devil this week?
So my devil this week was the Save Devil. Speaking of devils, I've been playing Doom Eternal again. But I moved from my PS4 to my PS5.
Whoa.
Hey, guess what? You can't transfer saves from the PS4 version of Doom Eternal to the PS5 version of Eternal.
That should be illegal, man.
So I'm doing the whole thing again. Also, I tried downloading the PS4 version of Doom Eternal, and it doesn't have my save data anyway on the cloud, and I don't want to boot up my PS4 again, so oh well.
At least it's a really fun game to play.
Oh, I don't mind. It's fucking Doom Eternal. It's one of the best fucking games I've ever played.
I had a few devils to consider this week. First was, unironically, the Control Devil, because the first boss of Control is complete bullshit, but I actually beat it 5 minutes before this recording. My second one was the Air Conditioner Devil, which I'll probably complain about again next week, because it's getting fixed, but I'll complain when I have to pay for it getting fixed. But the one I went with this one was the Social Life Devil, where, Jordan, I often have to plan everything going on in my life. I have to plan all the movie nights, the hiking trips, the Magic Gathering nights, and I always tell Rachel, man, it would be great if I didn't have to plan everything. And you know what? I got hit with 3 different fucking social events this weekend. Friday I had a housewarming, Saturday I had a dog birthday, Sunday I had not a cat birthday, but a human birthday. I was home for maybe like 4 hours every day.
My God.
This entire weekend.
A human birthday?
Yeah, they have those. Honestly, not as fun as the dog birthday.
Also, I'm David. I have an active social life. No,
Jordan, I honestly, besides this weekend, I don't remember the last time I didn't have to plan everything going on in my life.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm the planning devil.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, man, I'm sick of planning things, I'm going to wait for people to ask me to do things. And that's how my social life died, David.
My social life would definitely die if I didn't. But, Jordan, enough about me humble bragging about how many friends I have.
Oh, God.
Let's hear the plot summary for...
Chapter 164, Charred Remains. I feel like that's definitely a technical death metal song. Maybe by Suffocation.
It's actually an Alice in Chains cover band.
Okay. Anyway.
I spent
that joke.
I spent an hour and a half beating that first boss fight. It's been a long day.
It's okay. Anyway, Denji desperately wants to find Nayuta and tells Asa/Yoru that he'll fight them if he finds her. Digging through the rubble, Yoru tells Denji that he should just give up because she's definitely dead, while Asa tries to comfort him and offer her support. This obviously confuses the hell out of Denji, who says she makes no damn sense. I mean, one second, she's kicking him in the balls, and the next second, she's being real nice to him. It's like, what is going on, Popcorn David?
Asa, sweating, tells Dennis to turn into Chainsaw Man and fight her so he can live a normal life. Dennis refuses, saying that when he transforms, everything gets ruined and goes back to looking for Nayuta. Family suggests that he's being negative because he's hungry. Oh, bite into a snicker. And Dennis's stomach responds by growling. Asa tells Dennis to name the food he wants. He says sushi, and Asa gets mad because she hates sushi. I know that feeling, brother. But he stands his ground, and she makes an angry face because she big mad.
She's so mad.
God. I also realized I almost died twice this week, and I forgot to put that as my doubles, but that's okay. Anyway, so Jordan, why do you think this...
Wait, no, David, how did you almost die?
Okay, so I was walking Ravioli, and this guy was literally on his phone on his bike driving on the sidewalk and took a corner, and literally he missed me so much he fell off his bike, not hitting me. That's like how close he was to hitting me. Like, who the fuck takes a corner on a bicycle on the sidewalk while looking at your phone without wearing a helmet?
Jesus Christ. Only in New York, am I right?
And our one was at Taco Bell, and I guess their soda fountain was fucked. So when I got ice, a giant clump of ice fell out of like the tube that feeds into the machine because it was left open. And it was like, imagine an entire ice tray almost fell like 6 feet on top of my head.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is such a final destination way to die, though.
Yeah. The worst part was they hadn't made my food yet, so I couldn't yell at them until they finished.
You wanted to make sure they didn't spit in the food. I respect that.
They didn't even apologize. They just kind of stared at me and kept making the food.
Jesus.
I actually wrote like a very long letter to Taco Bell corporate, so we'll see how this goes on.
Okay.
I was like, not to be a Karen, but I'm pretty sure they should be in a lot of trouble for very blatant neglect.
You did almost get pretty hurt. Like, that's a little bit different. Like, when you're talking like legitimate safety concerns, that's a little different from the typical Karen shit.
I'm like, I would have probably had to go to the hospital if that had hit me in the head.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jordan, why was this week's chapter a 10 out of 10?
Oh, this was a really good chapter. I want more. You know, I really like the dynamic that Denji has with Asa, and I mean, I guess Yoru is like butting in. It's very interesting how she just keeps flipping on him, and I also love how Asa's basically like, I will do anything for you except sushi.
It's so great, and I really feel that. Like, I mean, let's just be real. Also, definitely wants things the way she wants, and I wonder if they'll make a bunch of aquarium references when they go get sushi.
Yeah, she's gonna be like white knuckling the whole time. Is there a previous time in Chainsaw Man where Dennis got sushi?
I feel like he has.
I feel like the fact that he wants sushi is like relevant.
Yeah, I am sure. I also don't know, when was the last time there was like a cooldown chapter? Like there was no active plot going on. Well, I guess also there's an apocalypse going on in the background, but by like Chainsaw Man standards.
I guess it's been a little while. I'm trying to think about what recent things have happened. I don't know.
It's just been like all gas, which is Chainsaw Man style, but also I do appreciate when Fujimoto is like, let's go have them like drink for like a chapter and hang out.
The cooldown chapters tend to be my favorite ones.
Luffy is saying that you could consider last week's chapter, who's thank you for listening in, Luffy, saying that was also, I would agree, but it's not like in a true sense where it's like we're just seeing them be kind of normal people do like hanging out, which we've seen a few times in Chainsaw Man.
I mean, here's the thing. In a lot of ways, nothing actually happened in this chapter. Whereas in last chapter, Denji woke up
and got kicked in the balls twice.
We're introduced to a new status quo. He got kicked in the balls twice. Like, so this is like, this is like a legitimate cooldown chapter, I think. And it is so heartbreaking to see Denji desperately looking for Nayuta.
He's such a good dad.
He is. God.
It is so nice to see that that's like the first thought on his head, or the first thought he always has is, where's Nayuta? And he's like, I don't care if she's probably dead. I'm still going to try and look for her, you know?
Yeah.
I still have this crazy theory where it's like there's something about the left side or right side of Denji, depending on if it's Yoru or Asa. And I noticed, though, that Asa is always standing on Denji's left and Yoru is always on his right. And I don't know if that's intentional. I don't really know what it represents. But if you actually look at this chapter, that theory remains true, where she stands on the paneling is on different sides of Denji, depending on who is talking to him.
I mean, it is kind of the angel/devil thing where you have one voice whispering into his ear, she's okay, she'll be okay, you know, I'll be here for you. And the other side, she's fucking dead, get over it.
I think this is the first time we've actually seen what mid-transition looks like, where you see the scar fading away.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. That might have also been to show that, like, there was a little bit of mix there. Like, I noticed that Asa was, like, sweating profusely around that time. Like, do you know why? Like, do you think it's because, like, she was worried that it was about to be revealed that she has, like, Yoru there? Like,
I don't think anyone really can tell. They just think she's just weird. And luckily, Asa is extremely weird, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was like, man, this chapter feels very post-apocalyptic, but I'm like, that's always just the state of Chainsaw Man, isn't it?
yeah, but this chapter especially, because, like, this is, we recently had, like, one of the Chekhov's guns finally went off where Asa discovered that Denji was Chainsaw.
Yeah, that was big.
Like, that was a very climactic moment. So now we're just kind of, that tension has been released and we're kind of, like, living in that space, I guess, for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to say this is build up, but that's like every chapter. I also love how Katana Man is also like, dude, also you gotta like listen to the man. He's lost everything. Let him get some fucking sushi. Despite Katana Man really hating him. Didn't he call her like, he just calls her like a bitch.
Katana Man was just like, what a bitch.
Yeah, I love it.
Damn. When Katana Man is defending Denji, goddamn,
right?
Some shit is happening.
Oh man, do you have any other thoughts for this chapter?
Oh man, I'm just really interested in what happens next. I mean, what happened to Nayuta? It wouldn't be out of Fujimoto's like wheelhouse to legitimately kill her off.
Yeah.
He's done shit like that before. I mean, rest in peace, Beam.
Oh, don't say that. I miss Beam.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, Jordan, I want to say thank you so much for all of your hard work on the show and everything you do.
Thank you. And thank you for all the hard work that you do, David.
You can find us on Twitter at Shonen Flopcast, Tumblr, Shonen-Flop, our website, shonenflop.com. We're on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever else you get your podcast. Props to Shannon for the awesome cover art. Find her online at illuminyatea. As a reminder, you can join us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern when there's a new chapter out. Just a heads up, next week is Golden Week, so there's no chapter. You can find a link to our Discord in our show notes or on our site. Stay tuned for Monday as we give our first thoughts on Takama Gahara. And Jordan, it's really interesting that Asa and Katana Man Katana Man and Genji have this antagonistic relationship, which really does remind me of the relationship between Abby and Ellie in The Last of Us 2. And I'm so glad, though, that that's a game that doesn't have any controversy whatsoever. And I really have to say that from a mechanical standpoint, it really is an interesting evolution of The Last of Us 1. I think the dodge, especially kind of with the boss fight mechanics, it is interesting that not only is it more of a cinematic experience, but mechanically, it's much more comprehensive with a bigger variety of the weapons, but it still does make me feel like there's still room for improvement. Like, I think the melee system could be improved because it's kind of like they're trying to say, like, we're going to have these Dark Souls style bosses that are just melee focused, but the mechanics are just lack a certain depth to it that is really a space that I think leaves their room to be in The Last of Us 3. And I think that really excites me about a third game is if they're able to evolve it, because like they tried some things like the jump button is kind of useless in the game, and I don't say get rid of it, but like give it a purpose,
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what? I was really disappointed though that Ellie overall didn't have a Rize skin, and I think it really would have been
Oh no, David, I'm looking at the clock and it looks like the chainsaw minute has passed. Bye.
Bye.